a little bit about Founder Institute, which is the world's largest global network of startup accelerators, investors, and advisors. FI portfolio startups are around the world, and you can see a couple that have emanated from our part of the world. Now, one of the interesting things that we wanted to share today is that peer support is one of the important types of benefits of being part of an accelerator, as found by one of the Startup Muster reports. You can see that many startups over the years have benefited from being in an accelerator or an incubator. It's gone from 25% to 39%. And the local team in Australia, New Zealand, Paul has a storied background in the world of product management, having worked for some very large companies, as well as being a startup founder. So he's been through the whole cycle, knows what it's like to work from the big end of town, but also what it takes to be a scrappy entrepreneur to ensure that you've got product that can ship and that services customers. I've been fortunate to have a tech background and to also, since the 90s, work in the startup world, having started my first .com business as an e-commerce platform back in the 90s. These days, I invest in technology companies across Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia in software, deep technology, and connected devices. At the Founder Institute, we're supported by Addisons, who are an Australian commercial law firm. One of our long-standing partners has been Rebecca Dooley, who provides a lot of advice to founders who take part in our program. And Addisons have gone on to look after the commercial affairs of many startups in our region. As mentioned before, we've been supported by a bunch of esteemed mentors who have been there and done that. They're either folks who have started businesses, been on the inside of startups, or who have been investors. We're very grateful for their support. Now, some of you may be wondering, where does Founder Institute fit within the broader startup world? Well, we are what's called a pre-seed accelerator. You might go to a half-day event or an evening cocktail, a lunch and learn, or you might even go to a weekend type of event. And then on the other side of us, there are these full-time accelerators, which require folks to not work in any other business except their startup. And then there's capital. We sit as Founder Institute in the middle, where people are able to work either full-time or part-time to get this initial traction and to prepare for pre-seed funding. We've been recognised, and you can see here, as a premier idea stage accelerator, and these are some of the companies that have come through as recognised by the Invest New South Wales government. And then beyond Founder Institute, one of the really exciting things that those that you'll be seeing here tonight, some of the 7 that you'll see here tonight, will be joining advanced accelerators to get funding faster. At Founder Institute, we believe in the startup rule of 1. It's best to have one problem that you're solving for one type of customer. Instead of having 20 products to solve that problem, let's start with the pointiest product to solve that problem, which is supported by a killer feature and one revenue stream. So over the 14 weeks, here's a snapshot from looking out for this one problem, the one customer, the product, the feature, and their revenue. Our founders have received constant feedback. They've probably got the wise words of Paul and our mentors ringing in their ears. Maybe it's that little conscience that's sitting on their right shoulder. Because we do think that to make progress quickly, we want to give as clear and direct feedback as possible. There have been office hours, and thank you to our mentors for opening their diaries for those office hours. The peer support is really, really important. We've got people who are experts in marketing, people who have got a background in finance and the marketing, as well as technology, can be brought to bear on the various businesses, the various startups that have been germinating through the program. And the feedback, there's been the dashboards, there's been multiple review sessions, and then some of the sprints. If you want to learn about what founder style you might be, There is a founder DNA test that you can do. It takes about half an hour, 45 minutes, and then after that you get this report. I wanted to share, we're running a couple of events in the lead up to August. If you're interested in learning about Founder Institute, the opportunity to meet Paul and I, ask us anything, because we're starting our next program in August and it will be running through to November 2026.